In my last week's video, I presented you 25 highest paid public speakers in the world. And on one hand side, that article gave me hope because that means that even I one day can leverage $100,000 or even $1 million per speech. But on the other side, it made me wonder if public speaking is just a continuation or the next step after years of working in a very specific area. Now, I'm not sure anymore if public speaking can be a career on its own. And if so, how would you do that? Hello everyone, my name is Lumi, and before we start, I want to thank every single person that watched my previous video. If you still didn't, you can click here or the link will be in the description box below. Last week, I also mentioned that I found a very interesting article on the website entrepreneur.com. In his article, The Secrets to Becoming a High-Income Public Speaker, Jason Capital, who is, by the way, the author of the book Higher Status, he's also a YouTuber, Instagrammer, a millionaire copywriter, and one of the advisors of the Oracles, speaks of 5 steps or 5 tips how to become a rich, famous, generally successful public speaker from scratch. His first tip is practice is the way to overcome fear. I already uploaded a video on 3 worst tips on fear of public speaking. If you're interested, you can click here or the link will be in the description box below. And what Jason says is that a lot of people are not afraid of public speaking per se, but they're rather afraid of unknown or something new. And by practicing, people will actually get used to the stage, they will get used to talk to people, and the fear will magically disappear. As from my side, I also always recommend people to just do it, although it sounds so cliche. But you really have to go on the stage, and if you never try, you will never know. And honestly speaking, now with Corona and with the lockdown, with all these events, limitations and restrictions, it's a little bit difficult to find a spot or event or a conference. That's why online and the digital world is here to help. When I was getting ready for my TEDx conference, by the way, there is a video even on this experience. This link will be also in the description box below, along with the link to my talk. I was filming myself every day, and I would watch myself if I move my hands too much, if I lack body language, if I look to different people or I'm very static. And that helped me very much. What you personally can do is also film yourself and either watch it alone or send it to your closest friends and family and ask for feedback, or you can even upload it on YouTube or other platforms and see the reaction from the public. Also, one thing that helped me in the fear of talking in front of a camera was actually doing Instagram stories. The beauty over there is that nobody expects you to have a very expensive camera and you don't have to edit it, and you actually can redo it again and again and again and again. So if you are afraid, maybe this can be your first step, and then YouTube, and then the world stage. The second tip that James gives is to speak for free. And it can sound weird because how do I get rich if I speak for free? But it makes perfect sense. If you're a beginner in public speaking and presentations, but you're not a public figure yet, meaning that you're not very famous in your community, then your first goal is not to make money, but to build awareness. Give people the chance to learn who you are, what is your style, how you are, what is your field of interest. At the same time, if you talk at many events, coming back to the first tip, you will get confidence. And let's be honest, the majority of event organizers will go for a beginner that charges no fee rather than for someone that gets, I don't know, very high expectations. And if you think that this is a waste of time and you will never get rich from doing things for free, you are wrong. Look at this as an investment. You invest your time and resources right now, but the return will come a little bit later. Third tip from Jason is to film every talk you give. And there are 3 major reasons why. First of all, you can again look at it afterwards and analyze it. What did you do good? What not so good? And try to make it better next time. Second of all, like models and architects, public speakers sometimes also need a portfolio. So next time or in the future, if someone wants to book you as a speaker, you can present them with your previous works. And third of all, you can also publish it on your social media accounts and let people know that you're there and you talked there, and these are your topics that you usually talk about. With the third reason, it's a little bit more complicated. You always actually have to ask the organizers if you are allowed to film, first of all. Second of all, if they film, if you are allowed to use the footage. Please always ask the organizers, otherwise you can get some problems with the copyright and so on, and you don't need it, especially at the beginning of your career. Fourth, focus on your audience and not on yourself. I also always try to emphasize on this point that you, as a presenter, as a public speaker, as a storyteller, you have to focus on your audience, because it is not about you. It is not about your money. It is not about you standing on a stage and getting applauses or flowers or candies or whatever. It is about the audience. It is about value giving and value creation. Why are those people in front of you? Why are they here at this location? Did they learn something? Are they maybe more motivated to do something? Did you inspire them? Did you change their lives? Whatever the reason is, at the end of your speech, there should be a change in your audience, either mind or heart, or even better, all of them. And the last tip of Jason is to not be afraid to charge what you're worth. I have to confess that this was a very big problem for me, and it still is to some extent, because I am a little bit of a shy person when it comes to the topic of money and monetary remunerations. Although I see myself as not being a perfectionist, I oftentimes think if I was good enough for the money that I will potentially be given, if I am even allowed to take something, if my characteristics, if my expertise is good enough for this purpose. And it's good to be shy at the beginning, and as we already talked in this video, and you can read in the article that I would leave a link in the description box below. It is good to do things for free at the beginning, but it's very important to find this spot where you see your worth and you can already say, okay, I did enough for free. I already invested enough into my skills and my knowledge. From this point on, I can already start charging some fees for my talks. And the better you get, you don't have to be afraid to say that the more expertise you have, the more value you give, the better you can be paid. To sum all Jason's tips up, first of all, practice is the way to overcome fear. Second of all, speak for free, at least at the beginning. Third of all, try to get a footage or film every single performance of yours. Third of all, focus on your audience and not on yourself. And last but definitely not least, don't be afraid to charge what you are worth. Do you think that these tips will help you become a successful and high-income public speaker from scratch? Or do you still think that one actually needs some political or economical or financial work background first? Whatever your opinion is, leave it in the comment section below. I'm very happy to read all of them. We can also connect on my social media accounts. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe and the bell button so that you get notified every single time when I post more videos. Also, I'm thinking about posting twice a week from July on. What do you think about that? Let me know also in the comment section below. I'm very happy that I can talk about these topics to you, and see you next Monday. Bye!